Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to the Red Estate. Before we get started today, got some things to discuss. Ran into some technical difficulties of late. After the final release, there was a hotfix that came like shortly after it that seemed to have introduced some stuttering, maybe not just for me, but for others as well. It was sort of noticeable when playing, but what was not noticeable was that the footage that was being recorded was just not watchable at all. It wasn't stuttery, it was just, for whatever reason, my recording software like failed to not just get lots of artifacts and all kinds of stuff across the screen. There has been a recent hotfix again today that I've done a test recording, and so far everything is looking fine. So we're going to get back into it with this. That does mean that we've missed a few weeks. I think I actually recorded about 9 weeks of stuff over the last couple of days, so about 9 episodes there. You didn't really miss much. I know some of you are probably terrified right now, but I actually did not go back into the Darkest Dungeon for a second attempt. Almost exclusively what I was doing was grinding up a new roster towards level 6. So there are going to be some new faces in the Red Estate. I hope you welcome them with arms wide open. Some of our other characters I've sort of been neglecting, but I really wanted to get healers classes leveled up. Unfortunately, this Vestal ended up kind of getting left behind, but we did get some others and managed to get them up into the champion levels. As you can see, we're doing pretty well there. About half of our roster is probably a legend at this point. I've got a handful that are just like right on the cusp. And then these guys I was sort of starting to struggle with trying to put parties together, and I think they ended up getting a little bit left behind there. But today, recording be willing, I am ready to head back into the Darkest Dungeon. And we are putting the band back together. They're not exactly the original members, I understand that. But it's like when, you know, your favorite band goes on a reunion tour and you're like, they don't have the same drummer anymore. They don't have the same vocalist anymore. How are they even the same band anymore? Like, all right, well, you know, they bought the rights to the name, okay? And so Wine, Woman, and Song comes out again. And I actually think this party has a real shot. They tore up the cove, but the Jester's stress reduction I think will be really solid. The dodge-centric focus of the party with a solid healer to back that up, I think should also mean that a lot of those bleed effects, you know, if we dodge them, then they don't manage to inflict bleed, and that would be real handy-dandy for us. Also, the last time we were in the Darkest Dungeon, we did learn quite a bit, and I feel like truly knowledge was the greatest thing that we took out of that. And I now know a little bit more about what this provisioning screen needs to have on it. We're going to go ahead and embark. Hopefully everybody is coming back with us. Going to go ahead and go with the full food. It's funny that we get to take a shovel. I don't think we're going to need the shovel. Alright, I had a little bit of trouble with Torchlight, but I also played around like right at the start and basically wasted 4 torches, and I only really ran out in that last hallway. So, not super worried there. What I do know is I want all the bandages you can give me. I'm also thinking a full 9 holy water, and maybe a few medicinal herbs. Do we need more than that? Let's go with 6. That way we can get rid of any of the like debuffs that happen to us, specifically maybe right before the boss fight. So this is a lot of provisions, but we're not being quite so wasteful, I think, with things we're not going to need. If we're bringing 9 holy water, that may seem a little bit weird, but it'll give us an opportunity to just buff our whole party's resistances one time through, or twice over, and, you know, with 1 holy water to spare. I can math, okay? And I think that will ultimately be kind of valuable here. Cross your fingers. Wish me luck. well, let's do this again. I am going to soak in, because for me at least, it's been like 10 hours since I heard this. So I'm going to soak in some marvelous Wayne June voice acting.
Once again, the stars are right, and the manor sits at the very epicenter of cosmic unrest. Cultists rally to their twisted idols, and great gongs sound in anticipation of the coming sacrifices. Far below, life-laden shadows pulse to the unrelenting rhythm of a beating heart.
That rhythm. All right. And here we go.
The blood of the fallen flows ever downward along these titan spires. The creature fattens itself on your failures.
Now, this time, I'm not terrified of what lays ahead of me at every inch.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
As I do sort of know what is in store for me here. And that is going to help out quite a bit there. Get off a solid opening stun. Yeah. I remember this rhythm. I am totally down with it. And a little bit of judgment for you. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Feels good, man. Oh, that doesn't feel so good. Oh, that also doesn't feel so good. Well, let's... Oh, he's going to heal. I think this is actually kind of interesting from a design standpoint, that I really feel like what the developers are doing here is giving you
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
a little bit of a tutorial. You know, you're being introduced to several new enemies that you have never seen before and would not know the capability of.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
But you're introduced to them in a relatively safe environment. You know, two enemies that basically all they can do is heal each other, and so that's fine. You just get to learn, okay, they can heal themselves. They can also heal others. You find that out in an environment where it doesn't matter that they're doing that, basically. And then right after that, you encounter a single cultist priest. Again, in a situation where he isn't quite so dangerous for you. Let's go ahead and just talk some trickery from there. And maybe battle ballad from here. Oh, he did get an attack off. That's unfortunate. Well, we're gonna want to do something about that. But
Continue the onslaught.
there he goes.
Destroy them all.
And the first bandage is down. Okay. And I really think that was sort of a purposeful design choice, right? That you get to see those guys and then sort of play a nasty trick on you here. And it's twofold, really. Because you get to see two things. One is that you get to encounter some enemies that you've seen before, right? The Ascended Brawler. He looks awfully familiar.
Their formation is broken.
So good.
Maintain the offensive.
But he is not quite the Ascended Brawler that you think he may be. Beautiful. And we get introduced to sort of the revelation that Rend for the New Gods is not quite what you're used to. I'm actually just going to get her back up to full HP. She will take
Slowly,
the
gently.
bleed damage.
This
Can I
is
use?
how a life is
I
taken.
can. I can use Toxin Trickery from right up front. Save myself a bandage, which I'm totally down with. And then let's do that for a little bit of speed and hope that we get to go first. We don't, but we get the dodge, so what does it matter, right? Alright, not too bad. Interestingly, we have a little bit of trouble cleaning up the enemy party when the fight is basically over. Like when all there is just one guy in the front. That's when we struggle the most. There's no real stress that I think we need to be worried about. Just take off 15. He's at 19, so at least none of it's wasted. I'll go ahead and do that there, and then not quite enough. But between a stun and a point-blank shot,
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Wayne's actually kind of right there. Confidence did surge as the enemy crumbled. I'm also going to go ahead and take the bottom route this time. I'm curious if everything is purely symmetrical and we are going to encounter the same exact things going down below. Are there any secrets in this dungeon that we do not know about? You know, there's a central room at some point that's like super easy to avoid. And then finally, we're kind of thrown into the mix with just all of it now, right? Where we get to find the Ascended Witch, the Ascended Brawler, combine them with a priest and a cultist, and before you know it, all of the dangers are wrapped up in one fight. Good stun there, though. And let's go ahead... you're very bleed resisty. You're not, though. Let's try it. Yeah, and a resist and a hit. Basically exactly what we would have expected. Good dodge. Also super excited about the prospect of... Nice. Of just dodging stress attacks like that. Oh my god. I really feel like stress was the killer last time, right? Like, that's the reason we didn't make it out of there. Once people started...
It is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Once people started failing resolve checks, there's very little you can do at that point. I actually really like the idea of a really squishy enemy that is equipped with the guard ability, providing a nice contrast to Mr. Octocestus from the Cove, right? Where you get a really dangerous, very tanky enemy that sticks around forever. This is like the very definition of a meat shield, where just squishy cultist sort of throwing himself in front of... Oh, I can stun him with that. Throwing himself in front of the priest to ensure that he does not die. Good, bleeds. You can do 5 to him and 3 to him. He did take a finger. Ugh. And with the bleed, that's not so great. But get off a huge heal. And he's up to 15 stress, so we can stand to de-stress him as well. Nice. Alrighty. And... who's going to be able to hit him for 5 is my only question. I really think it needs to be the Jester.
A death by inches.
That was probably for the best.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Go ahead and go with that and get a move on. Maybe I should have taken better notes of exactly where the fights were. I'm a little rusty on that. I remember, like, the back half of this is pretty much fight-free, right? There's just sort of a creepy, tense walk, and then you get the long hallway at the very end, but that's several rooms away. Yeah, like we're going to get another fork here, I think, with 3 rooms. Then it recombines, then a straight shot to the rest of it. But I want to say, like, maybe this coming room is actually the last fight. Is that possible? Have I horribly misremembered? Someone will be telling me in the comments. Of course, by the time you leave a comment, that's not even fair, man. You've already seen this video. You know what's about to happen. Okay. Yeah, and these guys are, of course, super bleed resistant. And since we had trouble doing it in the previous fight, I think I'm just going to spend most of his time with the buff.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left
That was pretty bad. Yeah, I would say so. Let's go ahead and just get some Divine Grace in here. He's definitely going to want to use a bandage, as I do not feel like taking 30 damage over time from that. Okay, down to 6 bandages. I kind of want to come in with like a fair number of... Yeah, we do have the bleed resist debuff now. So if any time, now is the time. I do kind of want to come in to the final shambling horror fight with like a fair amount of bandages, like the as many bandages I could have, basically. Because I think that's going to come into play there just as much as it does anywhere here. Owie. Guys, you're supposed to be getting, like, super dodges, remember? You have apparently forgotten that part of the strategy. We must talk about this. 9. Good. More bleed, taking 9 per round. He'll die in 2 turns.
Masterfully
nice.
executed.
We stun him here. He does nothing more, but he gets to go immediately. Alright, well, somebody dodged. That's something. We are starting to pile up some unsafe levels of stress, though, right? Nice. That dodge makes me feel pretty good about just spending this turn. Let's reduce his own. Spending this turn reducing stress and healing a little bit of HP. Let's actually just move you. Yeah.
Slow death.
It happens.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Okay. We didn't come out of that smelling like roses, but, you know, it wasn't the worst fight in the world. I do definitely want to stay away from Death's Door and the accompanying Death's Door debuff that it would hold for us. Okay, now... Was it just empty rooms through the rest of it? That's the thing that I don't remember. No, definitely not. Okay. Well, that was asked and answered. Okay, then. Nice. Actually really love the synergy between the bleed resist debuff and some wonderful harvests here. Great. Bleed on both of them. Yeah. That's not great, but we can take him down relatively quickly. Man, would love some better dodges, guys. Would really love some better dodges, guys. Okay. Down to 15, but gonna take a big hit here. So let's go ahead and give you the HP back, because that's going to happen. And then 12 more, huh? Alright, probably worth it. Hopefully worth it. I'm hoping you die, and so stunning you makes more sense. I want to keep the stress under control as well. I don't want to be, you know, pushing it to the edge, because in the shambling horror fight, I definitely want the Jester to be able to go on the offensive rather than constantly worried about stress management. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, well then, be that way. Remember the meat shield principle there. I think it would actually be cool if, not exactly a mini boss, but if the... Actually, a little bit more worried about his ability to do damage. Like if the Cultist Priest was maybe a little bit stronger on his own, because I feel like they're, you know, they're a tough enemy, but they're not like boss fight tough by any means, right? Yeah, again, it's got to be worth it. They're not quite boss fight tough by any means. And if they had been maybe a little bit stronger and would come accompanied with like a cultist priest and then 3 of the cultists that would constantly sort of throw themselves in front of your attacks by guarding him, that would have been kind of cool. You could have manipulated that, of course, with stuns and proper speed, but I think it would have been sort of a cool offset to all of that. Who's faster? You're both equally fast. Okay. We'll just hope for it then. Let's do a slice off right there. Okay. And not actually enough. Okay then. That's fine. It gives us actually another opportunity to heal here, which is good. But now pretty consistent 12s. Well, couldn't do it forever. We do have some lovely tunes to soothe us. And we took 5 damage for our trouble. Okay. Yeah. Let's throw out 1 party heal. And then put you into the ground. Thank you. Okay.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
How are we looking? I think we're fine. I think we're fine. I think I can. I think I can. Now this is where it's 3 rooms? Is that the thing that I remember?
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
In other words, I actually remember nothing, and my memory is terrible. I am going to poke into this center room, though, because I know we avoided that last time. It just stayed
The way is lit.
to the high road.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Like a hold up from Omand. Okay. Very interesting. There's actually something here. What is the something? Got a satchel, the estate seal on it, and maps behind it? Is that what we're seeing there? I am super curious. Ow. That wasn't very nice. Thank you for resisting the bleed, though. Speed, accuracy, crit. Let's go with the Battle Ballad once, maybe. We don't really need any de-stressing at the moment. Fates reveal. Now we need some de-stressing. Okay, he's been marked and will now just get pummeled by everything. Yep, that's how that plays out. Okay. So you know what? I want to get some HP into you even before you need it, because I know the incoming is going to be very bad. Very bad indeed. Alright.
A decisive pummeling.
Okay, he stayed guarded way too long there. I don't want to take another 12 damage. I do want you to be dead. And unfortunately, we're going to eat something like a Fate's Push there.
Blurred vision.
Up to 66 so quickly. That lash. Not a dodge to be found, man. Alright. Everybody focus fire. We need to bring him back from the brink there as soon as humanly possible. Good. Less good, but bleed doesn't quite do it this turn. He's doing 18, or she's doing 18, and we can only heal off 15 at a time as far as stress is concerned, so she's sort of winning that fight. It's a little unfortunate. I think I've got to keep that up. as much as I would like to use the Jester to actually attack her right now. Similarly, that stun would be totally meaningless, and this allows him to pistol shot for 8? Really? Ugh. Okay, 13. That's something that we can actually combat. 313. Okay. I want to know what's in the bag, man. Alright, hurry up. Hurry up. Just die already. It's 4-on-1. You have no chance. Okay. And I'm actually going to just tracking shot there. It's the only damage I can put on her. And let's go with that. I don't even think anybody's attacked Kelly back here. Kaylee? Hallie? I hadn't settled on how that was supposed to have been pronounced yet. Okay, that does take him out of position for stressing, or de-stressing rather, which is super unfortunate because I would still like to be doing that. So let's get back here, and you're probably dead anyway. Yeah.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Is there any reason to keep you in the back? No? You lose these. Ugh, that's probably the reason. And what do we have here? Whoa! Something hastily left behind by your ancestor. A signet ring, 1400 gold, an emerald, and a torch. Well, that was sweet. Definitely worth our time. I wonder if that's available, like, I mean, this sounds horrible, right? But could you farm that as, like, the easiest ancestral trinket to get? You only need to sacrifice the life of one of your heroes every time. It's a small price to pay. I mean, it's a really nice ring. You've got to admit, right? Oh, let's get the stun there. Good. Lead with, let's see, that's 4 to 7, doing 4 for 3, 5 for 3. Yeah, let's go with that. Thank you. I would very much like you to go away. Actually, I probably should have de-stressed him. I didn't realize quite how high that was. Yeah. That's a little troubling, I'm not gonna lie. 14, she'll take 5, that'll take it down to 9. Can we do 9 with a judgment? We can, we don't, but we can. Alright, I need that. That's what I need. Okay. Thank you. And then I need that. That's also what I need. Okay. Our highwayman lives to remain sane for another day. Maybe not a lot longer, but at least another day. Okay. And please die. Did not die. Ugh. Man. Freaking malignant growth, you are not my friend. Okay. 19, 17, thank you. Okay. I do feel like, I mean, this is this party comp, right? Like I don't feel like I need to sit here and try to justify that this party composition can work. I think I've used it enough that it does work. It beat...
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
It beat, like, literally every boss in the Cove. And so I don't really think I need to be trying to make that particular argument. This would have been a good room to have maybe used the holy waters on. Anyway, what I know though about this party composition is it's not exactly like burn them down, super damage, or anything like that. It's a lot of utility between stress and HP healing with the Jester and the Vestal. It's a lot of sort of lockdown with a rotating stun attack and a point-blank shot, just sort of over and over again. Also, I totally stunned the wrong guy. I should not have done that.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Please. Thank you. Down to 1 HP. That's not what I love seeing. Taking 8. Is the stun more important? Nah, probably not. That also leaves him in a position to pistol shot, which is probably for the best. So, anyway, it's a lot of, like, slow control play.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
I'm pretty sure she has literally been attacked twice in this entire dungeon, and it has left her at 13 HP, bleeding for 30 more with 56 stress after she took 2 critical strikes. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what this place has to offer. Ugh, that is harsh. So much for coming out of this with any spare bandages. This is kind of the perfect time to Judgment, though. We really need to heal you more than anybody else. Alright, let's try for some of this. Good, we do get the stun. Oh, boy. And suddenly, she's actually the one with the most stress now. Beautiful. 12 or 4. I mean, that heals for 12 across the 3 guys that are hurt, so why not? And then we're basically just waiting for that corpse to rot, which is a little unfortunate. Yeah, it's something. I do want to get some damage on him, though, as he's going to be doing stuff like this to us. Yeah, figured. 456. Come on. Really, really need you to go away. Good. 18 healed across the 3 of us. Oh, that's gonna be that thing. I'm trying, man. Thank you. That's what I needed to happen. Was you needed to be in the front so that I could shoot him with a pistol. That's what we do. Alright, more healing. And now actually kill him. Thank you. Alright. Shoot. It's like...
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
That's like maybe the actual first time I've ever legitimately run into the stalling penalty when I wasn't like trying to test how the mechanic worked. Which is kind of interesting. Just bleed resist. Okay. So, we want to camp now.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
We will feast, and then clean guns, accuracy, damage, short range skill. Of course, like it's just not even questionable. Callous humor worth it. Does anybody else really have much in the way of actual party buffs, right? I don't believe so. Has mortality debuffs. Heals 50%. Has mortality stress. I don't... What is a mortality debuff? Somebody explain that to me. Alright, we're gonna all companions... We'll mock you. I didn't mean it. Awesome. So we're going to go into this with stress sorted. Not the greatest of buffs necessarily, but some stress resistance as well as clean guns. Point blank shot is, of course, our big gun. No pun intended.
The promise of safety.
But it is certainly going to be the thing that we're most using to deal our damage. That and probably the Jester's damage over time. Why? Combined with flashing daggers to get the bleed resistance down low enough to be causing bleed all the time. You know what? I think the accuracy in the crit, if it maybe causes one attack that would have missed to instead hit, is probably worth it. One of you being stunned so that we don't eat 2 Fates reveals per turn is probably worthwhile. Yeah, you guys are just going to target the crap out of her with stress attacks now, aren't you? I'm expecting it. Let's just go with the HP. And then harvest.
Precision and power.
Good. Plus flashing dagger. Not bad. That's, of course, it was slightly out of order, right? We would have preferred that to have been the other way around. Ooh, that's also quite bad. At least that worked itself out. Alright, you're gonna bleed out. Not as fast as I'd like you to bleed out, but eventually you're gonna bleed out. That's actually really nice of you. Thank you for not doubling down on our vessel there. Just gonna Toxin Trickery. That way she bleeds out, everybody slides forward, I can stun her the next round. And that should ensure that she dies before she can do anything else to us, really. Fate's Pull is not super great, but honestly not the worst thing that could have happened there. Especially when followed by Fate's Push. Thanks. Okay. So we... by 10... I was hoping for a 6, but that'll do. And then we combine that with one of those. And you should have gone first. Ugh, that's unfortunate. All right, my head plan did not quite work out. I'm gonna Inspiring Tune. It's maybe not the right decision there. It depends on if she goes here and what she does. Okay, it totally was the right plan. Never mind, I'm a genius. Alrighty. Man, they really got the light down that low.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Like, I know we went into the fight with like 74, like it was the square where it went below 75, but man, their attacks.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Okay, so we're bringing out these buffs. We're also using a little bit of food. So we're walking into this, max HP, 29, 6, 0, and 37 stress. So Kaylee is maybe the only one we need to keep any kind of an eye on. We only have 1 bandage, which is a little bit troubling. But I have some good feelings here. If we were ever going to do it, we're going to do it now. Alright, Stun Resist, 148, because why not? Okay. Basically what I expected there. Alright, do I want to beef up the crits and accuracies and speeds, or do I just get on the bleed, man? Like, let's just hop on the bleed train while we can before he needs to, Okay, then. I'm so glad that I consumed an item specifically designed to enhance my my bleed resist so that I would be sure to be bled immediately for 30 damage. And apparently that was my William Shatner impersonation. That was not intentional. Okay. Do we want to be lunging? Or do we want to be flashing daggers? What does this do? 9 to 19, 4 to 9. We lunge. Okay. Keep stacking the slice off. We have no ability to heal from right there, which is a little bit troubling. But, I mean, the party can reshuffle itself a bit. But Undulations comes out so often that it's just, what's the point, really? By the time you could reorder yourself, you're just going to be reordered. You really got to have a party capable of working from a multitude of positions. And this might not be the gesture to do that, truth be told. This, we might have rather had a solo and finale style gesture. However, if nothing else, his ability to move 3 forward and 3 back, so on his turn he can do a lot to reorganize us.
A dizzying blow to body and brain.
Again with the 30 and the pain. That's not nice, people. Also should reapply my my holy water because it is already worn off. Yeah, that's a thing that just happened again. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. And let's do that. 8, huh? It's down to 74. I mean, this is good, right? It's like pretty good. We've maybe not been getting as much damage into him as I'd like to once our Jester's not able to... I'm trying to think about where I need the Vestal to end up here. You know what? You're actually okay from the second spot. You're just not okay from the first rank. Ow. That I don't love. You're taking way too much damage there. And more undulations. Just give me a good... That's not a good reorder. Okay. 57. Oh. That's actually an extremely pivotal dodge. It may not quite seem like it, but if that had hit, he would have found himself death's dooring real quick, and then we would be refocusing. How does she dodge and ends up at the back? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Breath from becoming unwound.
Just be okay. I can't heal you from up here. I'm sorry. I did crit, though. Okay. Oh, please. Oh, good dodge. Don't bleed out. That's what I'm asking for right now. I'm out of bandages. Oh, snap. 8 HP. He's so close. I need the right person to act. Okay. You know what? Go away, bleed resist. I haven't been using nearly enough of those. That does it? It does not, it? He resisted the bleed. And I don't have any healing. But it doesn't matter. The hand of light destroyed him. Unfortunately, he's now in a position that he cannot do anything there. Okay. Lunge here.
Devastating blow.
Whoa! Hard in my reach indeed.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Damn, Omand. Like, that was... I was like, no, you don't understand. We are actually done with this fight. The Ancestor's Candle. 15% damage if torch above. Speed if torch above. Dodge if torch... Wow. That's pretty solid. Damage, speed, and dodge. I mean... that's really quite good. Okay. We're going to continue adventuring. Don't think I'm crazy yet. I just want to take a look here. So this is our map. It appears to just have complete symmetry. I don't really remember any party comps that were ultimately different. I was very excited to find out that there's actually loot in this central hallway. You don't even, I mean, what's the alternative? Maybe that's it. Actually, I'm rambling. Okay. Maybe the last time when I went up, which just mirrors going down, maybe by going down there was no fight here, which is why I felt like this was such a long stretch where I didn't run into any enemies. And then if you choose the center path, there's loot, but also the additional fight. That could have been it. Alright guys, we are back to the estate with the victorious Wine, Women, and Song. It's only fitting. I mean, they had to do it, right? Got a dark tambourine that will never be in the hands of our jester. Death blow resist, but stress damage if torch below. Oh, and stress damage. Okay, gotcha. If torch is below 26, he takes less stress damage, but then the penalty is virtue chance. Obviously not really a rewardy kind of dungeon. We get 15,000 gold just for playing, but there's not much in the way of stuff to pick up down here. Lesson learned. I should have been using these more. Even in the final fight, I got a little preoccupied. And medicinal herbs, I just sort of neglected to consider using them all the time. Oh man, diseases, really? Yay, you were victorious. Congratulations, here's the Black Death. Okay. So that's real bad. Deadly's okay. Natural Swing is real good. I also kind of love that our Highwayman is manic for money. Or that our Jester is a known cheat. Natural Eye is good on people that are not a Jester. And Wheeled Scrounger is kind of meaningless at this point. Well, that is a sigh of relief.
You have merely glimpsed the edge of the abyss, but it is enough to trigger the cycle of revelation. Now, like me, you will begin to see things as they truly are.
Oh, good. We get to see things as they truly are. Like Poirier freaking not being a human being. Poirier, do you have something to tell us? That was real wrong. That's quite the blood moon you have there, Red Estate. Rock, don't you start doing it too. Okay, so apparently our roster is a little bit filled with creepy shapeshifty things. Is that all? I'm gonna sit back. I'm going to stare at my screen, and I'm going to make sure that I'm not a crazy person. Nothing else? Nothing else wants to change? We did get... Okay, interesting. Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, so I'm assuming this is the... Yay, you went into the darkest dungeon, go you. We get a little lantern next to him, and this regalia up here. That's very cool. I'm down with that. Any other changes to him? Like he's not just suddenly gaining like a straight stat bonus or anything. It did clear our... Oh, whoa. Heroes who have returned from a successful quest in the darkest dungeon have seen too much and will never return. You're free to use them in quests in other regions. Interesting. So they're never going back there. We got to come up with at least a. Got to come up with another party to go. Okay, I can dig that. Very interesting. We also got this as a reward, the Talisman of Flame. We have 3 of them. minus 100% stress damage from the skill revelation and 100% protection from the skill revelation. So by equipping these, I would expect that there is some enemy attack in a future segment of the Darkest Dungeon that we become safe from. But we only have 3 of them, and you may have noticed our party includes 4 people. Interesting. Well, I'm going to have to put together... I mean, I'm not going to lie. I would have been pretty okay with the idea that Wine, Women, and Song just carried us through the rest of the Darkest Dungeon. But I'm going to have to put together some new party compositions and maybe tweak their trinkets a little bit and see if I can't wedge in 3 torches to keep them safe on a future expedition. Is it going to be the next expedition is the question. Is it just a wasted trinket slot otherwise? Because, it doesn't do anything else, right? A lot to think about. I want to hear all of your thoughts. Anything that you are thinking right now, drop it down. If you've already played, you've already watched other streamers, maybe keep it to yourself. But if you have like theories running around in your head, feel free to share them with me, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to subscribe for more content on the channel every single day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other videos. And I will catch you guys next time.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.